a map that is quite open, a couple of hills on the lower end of the map, a sandstorm going from the west to the south, west to the east, and of course the Leviathan and the ribs on each end of the map, allowing for a bit of forcing to play close quarters. We're probably going to see quite a bit of long range going on, or medium range. Alright, I'll take red, you take blue. First ship on red is the Evermore, a galleon piloted by Captain Scrollbeard. It is lumber flak left side with a Hades on top, and double Hawatcha on right with a flare in the back. His ally is the Luna Moth, piloted by Merwin. It is a Mobula with a Gatling Banshee on bottom, with two Artemis mid deck and a Hades on top deck.
Of course, the Skyborne will be bringing in one of their Mobulas, the Reborn, piloted by Sandstrom, with two Artemises, a Hades, a Whirlwind Light Gatling gun, and a Beacon Flare gun. Ship number 4 will be the Bone Ear, piloted by Solidus. This junker does have a double-barreled mortar, a Hades, an Artemis, yet another Hades, and a Gatling.
That being said, I have to correct you. It's Sunstrom, not Sandstorm. But fair enough. That is a common mistake.
Sunstrom?
Yeah. It's
you
good
know
enough.
what? You know what? He's gonna live with it. Whatever I say, he's gonna have to live with it. Okay?
Yes, but I will not be able to live with it because he'll come and kill me later. But that's alright. That's fine.
Hi, I don't see that as a problem. That sounds like a personal problem to me.
I'll give him your Discord information and he'll find you. Well, that's alright. So it seems that both teams have... I mean, the Galleon is going for the ribs, while the Mobula is staying a bit in the open. Lower than the Reborn, not the best position to be in, facing Hadeses. You really want to be above the enemy at this point. But he is backing up, trying to find some cover in the ribs at this moment.
Well, Lunamoth will be falling down, trying to get out of range as the Reborn closes in on the Mobula versus Mobula. And the Skyborn so far are able to dock out Lunamoth with no hull armor, but that's repairing quickly. Of course, on the other side, the Reborn, their Mobula has no hull armor either, and they're at about even ship HP as the repairs do come in for the Reborn finally.
Seems that the Meta Galleon is keeping that keeping that Mobula quite disabled, while of course the Bone Ear is trying to do as much damage as possible to the Lunar Moth.
Nice play by Skyborn so far over on the blue side, just grouping together and doing a bit of damage across these long ranges. I really like how they're utilising it, but the Evermore is quite happy with this engagement, just continuing to rain in those Hades damaging shots. And of course now they're taking some fire. Now the Evermore needs to think twice about their position as their hull armor just melts away. All their engines are on fire and about half their guns. I can't be liking this at all.
Seems that both blue ships are currently focusing the Evermore. Nevertheless, they are in the Sandstorm area, which means they will have to drop quite low to stay in undamaged areas. That may not be that beneficial to them. Luckily, the Sandstorm is passing over them at the moment.
Nice use of that Sandstorm to just hide under its tail line, get the repairs in both teams. Well, for temporary reprieve from this long-range battle, Lunamoth has been spotted. Nice flare usage, as they will now begin firing at each other yet again. Lunamoth engaging, and the first hit will actually go over to the East Chaladonian Trading Corporation as they rain in the damage. Nice damage onto the Reborn. They're really taking hull damage now. And they're about to start taking ship damage as their hull crumbles, the balloons down, they're falling quite quickly, but nobody can get the tag and they're going to be able to withdraw back into that sandstorm.
Well, that's just clouds moving. But
it's a sandy cloud.
Well, there's a sandy cloud coming up, yes. Very soon. But that's being said, you never want to be in a sandstorm, because that'll break all the components that your engineers can't be taking care of. Especially on the Mobula, the components are spread way too far apart from each other to keep all of them up, especially when you're still trying to fight. Hull break on the Luna Moth, using a slight bit more of their health, and bumping into their ally.
Quite a bit of damage in the Bone Ear. They're frantically trying to get out. They've actually been almost caught in that sandstorm using the Ship Arch as cover, and the hull of that dead ship will be their cover for a moment longer as they try and get out from that sandstorm. They suddenly realise the danger they're in. Lunamoth now will take the opportunity to refocus on the Reborn. That ship they got so close to killing before. There's no cover near them now, and they're definitely regretting the decision to commit. As their hull crumbles, they're starting to take ship damage, and there is that damage just raining in from the Hades at long range, but they can't connect. Nice piloting by the Reborn. Nice movement.
Yeah, beautiful dodge. Nevertheless, they do have the worst end of the fight at the moment, being lower than their enemies. The heat is quite a bit of an advantage firing at them. Bonnier positioning himself in the middle of the ribs, trying to force a bit of pressure on Red Team to relieve his ally.
It will still be the range damage flying it onto the Reborn. The Lunamoth, though, suddenly needs to be occupied by the Bone here, and now the Skyborn, they have a bit of an interesting tactic over on the blue side. They've split up onto either side of the group of enemy ships and just raining in the damage onto the Lunamoth. Look at them grounded, beached. Hull armor will be repaired and balloons back up temporarily, and they will be able to regain some altitude. But the Reborn and the Bone here are ready to pounce.
That is not a place I'd like to be in. 3 Hadeses facing your way if you're in a Mobula. No. No, thank you.
We are actually 6 minutes into the match and no kills have gone either way, but the Bone here now, they're closing very close range, and that Hawacha is just easing them up. Nothing's left on the Bone here. That was a terrible mistake. The tar is being dropped too, and the damage flying onto the Bone here at long range from the Lunamoth will back up the close range damage. Bone here with no components up their hull down. The Gatling is finally coming in for them, but the Evermore is quite happy to just drift out of range and continue hammering in with the Hawacha. That should be the kill as they're just seconds away from death. Their hull isn't up. That Hawacha might be the nail in the coffin, and it is. 1-0. Red Team, the underdogs, taking the lead.
That'll be interesting to see if they will be able to get that 2-0, or if Reborn will be backing up full speed trying to get out there. He is burning the kerosene, so he's probably going to be able to get out of there unless that sandstorm catches onto him, which probably is not going to happen. If Red does follow though, that sandstorm would give Blue quite the advantage in getting some cover.
Reborn definitely need to think about their position as Skyborn. Hiding behind this sandstorm would be their wisest position. They just need to wait a second for the rest of their team. The Bone are now on the respawn. Will be presumably grouping up with them or coordinating with them in some way.
Well, the Bonnier did spawn. Let's see what he will be doing. He seems to still have a nick for the ribs, probably. That's currently what he's heading for. Slowly but surely.
Evermore doing a bit of long-range damage, but look at that. I just love seeing these fights take place over distances of absolutely astronomical proportions. I love it. It's an absolute testament to the skill of the gunners on both sides and the pilots to position them that well. But no kills have come in over that long range. The one kill that did come in was perhaps the Bone here getting a little bit too confident and overextending. And now Moon shining in, perhaps sneaking up on their opponents. I don't believe they've been marked yet. The Evermore should have a sightline on them. The Lunamoth maybe not, as they've got their back completely exposed. Nice piloting by the Bone here, and they are absolutely the shark in the water. Can we play the Jaws theme song, Water? Because they are sneaking up so brilliantly.
No. Well, you might be able to sing it if you want. But,
dun dun, dun dun, dun 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 dun.
There goes a Hawacha to help that
Damn.
Jaws.
I don't think that's how Jaws ended.
Running into a Hawacha? I doubt it too.
Heavy artillery on the shark. How?
Bonnier staying quite content with staying in the ribs at the moment. It seems that Skyborn is trying to keep them at 2 angles, trying to keep the fire split. That being said, of course, the Galleon has 2 broadsides, so where it's positioned at the moment is probably the optimal position to keep the Bonnier far fucking away. Sorry for swearing. And of course keeping fire on the Reborn.
I think Evermore is actually cool. They're using both sides of their weaponry right now, which is a testament to the skill of their crew, but also not an ideal position. The Reborn will be hammering them from one side, the Bounder from the other. Lunamoth will be rising in an attempt to shield them from one side's damage as that Hawacha flies out the Bounder. They're taking a lot of component damage, and there's the first kill of the game, going back for the Skyborn. As I do take the Rogue Mobula with a nice little sandwich of damage. Reborn needs to start closing in, I do think, because the Boniers being hammered. There's most of their weaponry knocked out in that one Hawacha. Evermore, though, finally taking a bit of shipple damage as their armor crumbles and is permanently down. They're just taking damage after damage. Now with the focus, both ships are closing in, just like I called, and that should be the kill. 2-1, with Skyborn taking a dominant lead.
I was misfortunate, of course, for the East Chaladon trading company that that Mobula dropped down. I believe the Galleon was in quite a good position to keep both of them in check. That Mobula had to try to find a position to complement that Galleon to bait the enemy into the Hawacha arcs, or the Galleon should have lowered altitude to allow the Hawachas to keep better disable on the Bonier. As we saw before, there was a couple of disables going out on the Bonier, well, usually only picking up one component, which was definitely not enough to keep their allies safe. Because as a Galleon, you can stay in the middle, as long as you keep one of them disabled and the other one slightly busy. As a Mobula, that's really not what you would want to have.
Well, we do have a 2-1 scoreline right now with just about 10 minutes left in the match. Half the match is over. These teams might consider speeding up their play. Definitely will be.
Or they might consider slowing down their play. If the East Chaladon Trading Company gets one more kill and then prolongs till overtime and then the 3 minutes after overtime, they will win this match, which I'm not sure is their plan, nor would it be very honorable, but it would be an option for them.
What is honor when you have victory?
No. That question is not asked. Honor is if you win with no, wait, no, never mind. You cannot win without honor.
Honor comes with victory, and
nope,
victory
nope.
comes without dishonor.
Nope.
Will be Bonaire hiding beneath the clouds and that
true victory
ship
comes with honor. Please don't mix those up.
I'm afraid we're gonna have to disagree to agree, or something. One of those things. One of the things I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's alright. My voice isn't working today either.
The Reborn is taking some damage at range, but the Evermore there holds down yet again. This is going to be a sad feeling of deja vu as they struggle to get that armor back up. But indeed, the second it's up, it's already at half. Nice damage out of that Hades and Flak Cannon from specifically the Bonier, I think.
They're finding some really good hard cover though behind the ribs. That unfortunately is forcing all the fire on the Luna Moth, which is going to be... Nope. It prevented itself from being hull broken, but it was very close at that time. Looks like Bonier is moving in on the Luna Moth with the Reborn advancing too. This is probably not where that Mobula would want to be. Hull break on the Luna Moth.
Oh, nice damage flying in onto the Evermore. They're going to be now taking some shots and landing some shots on the Reborn at great range. And so close to death, they need to pilot very carefully. Of course, the Bonier and the Reborn, both Skyborn ships currently, have shaken their spot. Which means they need to be careful about how they re-engage, because they have the option to do so in any number of ways. Luna Moth now being hammered at range, there's their hull down, there's the damage really coming in, and of course their hull being down means their gunners need to leave their gunning position and go to repairing, which opens them up to yet again losing that superiority battle at long range. Now the Reborn chiming in too with a bit of long range damage through the cloud. The Hades are just flying it. Everything's on fire over there on the Luna Moth, and they are not enjoying their time at all.
I wouldn't go that far. They might be enjoying the amount of stress that's caused here. That being said, of course, the Luna Moth is alone versus two ships at this moment. The Evermore is a bit too far to do reliable damage. So they do get the balloon pop on the Bonier, but that does not help the Luna Moth, since they are themselves balloon popped.
trying to drive right under this engagement and try and get out of it, but they don't like this damage flying in from the bone here now as the Gatling chimes in. That will be 3-1 now as Skyborne claim yet another kill. It started off maybe the underdog stood a chance, but the East Chaladonian Trading Company, that was just a huge misplay to let themselves get separated like that. Now Evermore's in a 1-on-2. He doesn't even seem worried about it. They're just closing and engaging in this very, very close range for them. The second Bonier gets into the fight, it won't be a good one for them.
Getting both his guns disabled left side. That's not where he wants to be, especially against a medium range Mobula. He will not win that kind of fight unless he's incredibly above them.
Oh, there's the damage raining in, the hull crumbling yet again. Evermore, they're going to be out of the fight, and that's 4-1 now, 1 point away from victory. The Skyborne yet again looking to reign supreme.
We got 5 minutes left in the match, but unless East Chaladon Trading Company can make 3 kills in the next 5 minutes, this may be already set in stone. I do hope it isn't, but you've got to look the truth into the eye.
I think you have to look truth in the eye, not look the truth into the eye.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Right? No, it's not.
Fair enough. You're an English teacher, I'm guessing.
As you say, 5 minutes left. That's definitely enough time to go either way, but you do need to start racking up kills now. 5 minutes is a quarter of the match. You can get 5 or 4 kills even, but you need to start punishing individual ships right now. And Evermore and Lunamoth, they've thrown caution to the wind. They're just charging into this battle. They're going for the Reborn. This is the right call, I think. They need a quick kill onto Reborn to focus the other ship. And the Lunamoth, their hull armor's already down. They're about to start taking ship health damage. The Reborn, they're still at full hull armor. Same with the Bonier. That's not nearly enough. There's the Gatling chiming in. The Evermore doing a bit of damage too. The Reborn needs to be focused, and that entire Hawacha almost missed. This is a good look for the Reborn at all. The East Chaladonian Trading Company having a terrible time just landing their shots. There is a Hawacha landing, and there's the Reborn crippled. There will be quite a bit more damage flying in the Lunamoth yet again with the repairs, and Reborn will be forced to fall very low in the terrain.
Oh, this might actually be another kill for the East Chaladon Trading Company. They can get the galleon
especially with that Hawacha.
Yes, if they can get their galleon to support their Mobula, that may work. Though, as we speak, the Lunamoth has been hull broken. Reborn hydroing up, trying to get out of the arcs of the galleon.
Oh, there's the damage flying in from the Evermore yet again. Reborn close range against the Lunar Moth. That's not good at all. And the Lunar Moth's going to bounce off the ribs. There is the last chance to watch it, but it won't work out. The blue team, the Skyborne, will come out on top yet again. 5-2 is the final scoreline with the last second kill from both teams simultaneously. It looked good, but it all went wrong. And as a result of that scoreline, we will have in Cockborne advancing to the finals. As East Chaladon fall down to face the winner of Salty, Steam, X Coin Flips and Mermaid Maidens happening right now on our secondary stream.